Hello, everyone. Okay, perfect. You can
Hi,
hear me.
Mr. Blossom.
All right. So we'll just give some people like 5 minutes to join in, then we'll just start off. I think you should have. Okay, I'll give you access to share screen and all that. I'll just add you as a co-host. That's it. Yeah. Okay. So we'll be good. So just give them 5 minutes to join in, then we'll start off. Okay. I think we're good. So 5 minutes, then we'll start off. Yeah. All right. In the meantime, let's chum up. Hello. Can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, great. Great. So
I can hear you, sir, loud and clear.
okay.
Moses.
So,
Good evening, guys.
okay, good evening.
Yes, sir.
So we'll just start off in 5 minutes. So that'll be 5:10.
Okay.
Yeah, the recording has also started, so we're good to go.
Okay.
All right. Thanks.
Raise your voice and shout. Come on.
Me only choice. I go narrow the things that I don't know road. Every me more. Now in they move me, they lead me, they go. On God, mine is made up. Of course, no going back. Non-stop, on 240. Then she gone, hold on me to road. I'm steady revving, monte throttle. Got eyes on the prize. Papala, any police snatch me from his hand. If I just know why we read Takumi. That's why I follow.
Decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus.
I can never turn back. It's already too late. It won't make sense. Where am I going to? It's already too late. I've already come too far. It's already too late. We won the war. We will spend the billions.
We'll spend the billion.
We will spend for Jesus.
We'll spend for Jesus.
We will shift the culture.
We'll shift the culture.
We heal the sick.
We will heal the sick.
We will raise the dead.
We will raise the dead.
Transform the nation.
Transform the nation.
Till we hear well done.
We will hear well done.
We will burn the war.
We will burn the war.
We will spend the billions.
We'll spend the billion.
We will spend for Jesus.
We'll spend for Jesus.
Till we shift the culture. We heal the sick. We will raise the dead.
We will raise the dead.
Transform the nations. Till we hear well done.
We will hear well done.
Decided to follow Jesus.
I
All right, so welcome everyone. We're 2, 4, 6, 7. We're hoping would be more, but we have to start and then others will join. Okay, so we're going to start off with Salvation Ministries. We always pray now. So we're going to start off with prayers. Apostle Lily. So the prayer, just take us on some prayers, not so much into the spirit, just take us near the door. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Let us pray. God's word speaking, he said, the Lord has done all things well, whereof we are glad. Father, we thank you. We give you the glory. Thank you for your church, Salvation Ministries. Thank you for your servant, our father David Ibiome and his family. We thank you for every member of Salvation Ministries Surulere. We give you the glory, we give you the praise. We commit this session into your mighty hands, Heavenly Father. It is written in your word, say there's a spirit in man, and the inspiration of the Almighty giveth them understanding. Father, we pray for understanding. We pray for your leading to rest on our speaker and everyone in this meeting. It will be an impactful and exciting session. Thank you, Heavenly Father. We give you the glory and praise in Jesus' mighty name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you everyone for joining.
Amen.
That the last session we had, which was on finance, was very impactful. And this topic is something that everybody that is currently living in this 21st century or 22nd century, whatever it's called, we really need, especially if you're doing business. For those of us that just saw the link and joined, we're talking of how to use technology to improve your business outcome. So don't say, oh, I'm not a business person, I don't need this. Everybody needs this. When the world of AI, we've heard all the talk going on, will AI take our job? Will AI do this or do that? So yeah, this topic is particularly relevant for everyone. And our speaker is well experienced. He is a senior oga in these things. So I want us all to pay rapt attention, and please unmute yourselves, because so that it can help us hear each other out. It can help us so everybody can flow. We can hear what the teacher would say. And if you have a question, please drop it in the comment section, or feel free to note it down. When it's question and answer session, you can unmute yourself and then ask your question, or use the thumbs up, the raise your hand. There's an icon on your screen. If you're using your phone or laptop, you'll see it. Just click on that hand that is raising up, and then we'll give you the audience to ask your question. Feel free. I want you to come in with an open mind to learn, relearn, and unlearn. So, Mr. Blossom, I want to welcome you, and over to you now. Thank you, sir.
So good evening, everybody. Good evening,
Good evening.
brothers, sisters. It's really exciting to be the one to take this particular section. So first of all, I will find Omona for actually looking for my trouble and bringing my legs out. And Amara, who told you I'm well experienced? But
Yes, senior
God
man.
helping us. God helping us, we'll be able to do justice. So let's just say a word of prayer. Father, thank you because you have given us this opportunity to be here to learn, to get deeper into not just our career, but shed light in the path that will lead us into a brighter day, into a brighter season, into a brighter moment in our careers. Grant us understanding. Let your spirit shed more light. Give me the wisdom to speak, that all will be led all round and all glory will be yours. Thank you because you are God, for in Jesus' most wonderful name. Amen. So quick one. I'll be taking the topic. I don't know if you can see my slide. I don't know if you can see
Yes,
it.
we
Can you
can.
please? Okay.
Yeah, we
So
can
Carry
see
on, sir.
I'll be taking the topic using technology to improve your business outcome. Using technology to improve your business outcome. As standing on all existing protocol, with regards to the last session, this is a learning series organized by Salvation Ministries Surulere to actually impact us, not just spiritually, also physically, mentally, and in career and all we do at the end of the day. So for this session, we'll be looking at the table of contents. So it's going to be very brief. At the same time, it's going to be a situation whereby you will have a tool, you will have a measuring tape, whereby tomorrow when you are called upon or you have a situation staring at your face, you can actually deal with it. So firstly, on our table of contents, we have the introduction, we have understanding the scope itself as improving your business using technology. We also look at technology consideration towards business improvement. We also look at business outcome of effective use of technology. Not to waste much of our time, we'll go into the introduction. I hope I'm not too fast and you can see my screen. Hello?
all good, sir.
Hello?
All
You
good.
can see your screen.
Okay, great, great, great. So just like Amara rightly said, we're in an era whereby technology seems to be positive to some persons, and at the same time, it becomes a threat to some persons. But being in the industry for 12 to 13 years, I'll tell you technology is never a threat to anybody, depending on how it is being applied and how it is used. So many discussions have gone about that at the end of the day, human resources are not needed because technologies like the artificial intelligence are here and there to actually take up people's job. Yeah, it came and it took some people's job. I'll use the places like DHL. DHL dropped about, you can fact check me, dropped about almost 16,000 workers within a year, which was very alarming. But the sweet thing is, it did not just take their jobs, it gave them opportunity to actually move into another area, another sphere where they can operate perfectly. So first and foremost, I want to bring to your knowledge that machines and automation of businesses does not mean it's taking your action as a human resource person, as a resource to an organization. It is there to enhance your productivity level and efficiency. It is only when you are ready to grow. And that is why I want to applaud the leadership of Salvation Ministries Surulere for actually looking at these areas to bring in some learning series in place. They say we believe there is a more positive way to view the relationship between technology and humans. How? Machines can't control themselves. So I am privileged to also have an AI running presently. And I must tell you, AI has not come in one way or the other to actually fade away developers or technology institutes out of the system. It has actually come to actually help those guys get their job done perfectly and in a better operational mode. Now, think of the days before COVID, we all go to work every day. Is that not? And we all felt we need to be in the office 9 or 8 to 4, 8 to 5. But look at technology today. It has actually given us an opportunity whereby we can actually work hassle free. Sometimes you work hybrid at the end of the day. You don't even know what is happening within the city, especially when it comes to like traffic jams here and there, especially in the city of ours like Lagos. You can see you can work from anywhere. So technology has not come to actually take off the job. It has come to marry human effort and their position to operate the machines and automate businesses effectively. Rather than seeing new technology as an opponent to the workforce, we believe that implementing the right technologies can make existing employees be far more productive. So if you look at some AIs today, like the ones where the likes of Copilot and Co, people were having issues working on Excel. Excel, in fact, I will tell you for free, back in the days, used to be a course of its own, whereby if you know Excel in any organization, especially in the finance industry, you are seen like one mini god because you can do and undo. But today, you don't really need to know a larger broad or a large sphere of what do they call it, of Excel. All you need to do is to jump on Copilot, input some parameters, and it computes those parameters and gives you very accurate results. Remember, at some point, even Excel was making errors because when you use it for data analysis, at some point it's going to fail. It's not going to give you the correct answers, especially when you have not imputed the right parameters. But when you use AI to actually want to carry out data analysis, at some point there are some key indicators that it triggers for you. Some prompts are needed for you to get a particular result. And being as humans that we are, there are certain things that, yes, is an oversight, but certain things that are regarded as negligence. But if you deploy the right mentality towards your job, at some point, AI is supposed to be a tool for more productivity and therefore add significantly to the company's bottom line. There is no question that in today's world, the key to productivity and competitive differentiation is to embrace technological change. Yes, technological change has come to stay. Look at the medical environment. It has not come to chase doctors out of their jobs. It has come to improve their level of productivity. Today, you have a smart wristwatch and you put it on your hand. What does it do? It gives you your vitals as regards your temperature, as regards your heartbeat, as regards your blood pressure, as regards even your sugar level at some level. Do you understand? So for clarity, technology has nothing to do to compete with business owners or business operatives. It has come to help them. However, this change is moving to an unprecedented pace, and it is extremely difficult for business and IT leaders to keep up. This is because humans naturally become lazy. So I will use a very clear example. We built a solution that was 2 years ago, and we started using it, and we noticed our finance that used to work with Excel very actively, all of a sudden they just miss track, because from a click of the button they can actually disburse funds to any of the bank accounts in Nigeria. They can actually run a lot of exchange rates, what do they call it, foreign exchange, in just a click without them actually putting a lot of effort. But there was something that happened while they were trying to disburse a particular funds to a particular customer's account. They disbursed it into a wrong account. That is not a technology gap. That is a human error. So at some point, business operatives, personnel cannot keep up because they begin to look at this thing, it should do everything. It should do everything. If it does everything, it means the business operative and those that manage those business are out of their works at the end of the day. We'll move further to understanding technology for business improvement. What do we mean by using technology to improve business outcome? What do we mean? It means applying strategic and leveraging various technologies to enhance efficiency, productivity, and or overall performance, ultimately leading to better results and achieving business goals. What do we mean by that? This putting the right tool at the right time within the right context will help you achieve successful business goals if we meet the expected, that which is expected from us. Using technology to improve business outcomes has to be done strategically. It is not because you have Copilot, you have AI everywhere, means that when you want to type an email, you just go there, you copy and paste. No. If you copy and paste an email to send to a customer from an AI, remember that people actually go there to also go and fact check if the email is actually AI generated. So I will look at some factors that you need to actually check if you are going to be picking technology for your business. Classify the technology tools needed at every business stage. You and I can agree that we have the low, the mid range, and the high tier business stages. Now, these different stages, you cannot deploy the same tools for all of them. No, there's a particular stage for each one. Also, you need to pinpoint the pros and cons of the necessary tools for your business stage. Yes, every technology being deployed has the pros and the cons. That's the advantage and disadvantage. So you have to dwell on the advantage. If it is more than the disadvantage, or the disadvantage you can manage, then you are good to go. Thirdly, you need to identify competitors and the technology tools they use. So we built Educate Africa. I'll use that as a case study. And while we're doing that, we actually talked to companies like Quick Teller. We talked to companies like Sterling Bank. And we noticed that because they are large financial institutions, there were certain things that they were not ready to compromise, which is what? Because we offer, that solution offers educational loan. They were not ready to give you facility to run your education without a collateral. They were not ready to actually implement solutions that will carry out KYC in split seconds. You could bear me, you people can actually bear me witness. Whenever you go to the bank to open a bank account, you must fill a form, a digital form, or you fill a handwritten form. But check the likes of OPay and the likes of MoneyPoint. What do? All they need is your BVN. And with your BVN, they can auto-generate other informations about a customer. Another thing you need to consider when you are looking out for technology for business improvement, the life cycle and predictions of the chosen technology tools. What do we mean? Every technology has a life cycle. I don't know. I would like us to also speak at this point in time. I don't know who amongst us. Are you guys there? Is that? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
So I want us to look at the days of Edge. I mean, the days of Explorer. I don't know who can remember Explorer, a browser. Who can remember Explorer? Explorer is just like Chrome. I don't know if you can remember.
Yes, remember.
So Explorer, and who are the makers of Explorer? Microsoft.
Microsoft.
Yes. Microsoft saw that most of their customers could not actually use Explorer effectively. And what do? They outface Explorer from the market gradually when they brought in Windows 10. What happened? Some businesses did not actually consider the life cycle of that solution. In fact, I had a company then that I was actually consulting for. The only browser they could use to access their server, I think that was an R2 2016 server. Yes, it was only Explorer that could access it. Immediately, the Explorer was faded out. They could no longer access the server. As a financial institution, they actually went down. They had to start from scratch. So when choosing, understanding the technology to use for your business, you need to look at the life cycle and also predict the possible outcome. That is why I brought in my slide, you must be able to check out what competitors are doing and the tools they are using before you adopt. You need to understudy them. It is a basic principle. More so, you need to also look at what is your business growth plan. What is the business growth plan? We have businesses that they will tell you in 5 years they feel they should be at the mid-range business level. but they have not actually put in certain things in place. I'll use Fidelity Bank for an example. If you check presently, it's like Fidelity Bank is the only financial institution that is struggling to the use of mere ATM and debit cards. Why? They are still using Oracle 1993 in this present age. So they are not ready to what? To grow. By the last time we spoke to them concerning something, for we to do something with them, they were actually proposing that they want to move from 1993 to 2000 Oracle version, which is off the market. So at that point in time, you know that everybody working within that organization is stunted because the organization is also stunted in what? In growth, in plans, in technology usage. We'll go further to the key technology considerations for business. You want to use technology for your business. What are the considerations you need to put in place? First thing you need to understand, the business needs, the data business needs of that business itself. What problem are you trying to solve? The tech should align with the goals. There are some businesses that say we just want to be in the face of everybody. Their business will end in social media and it's going to fade out after some time. You also need to consider the budget. Some organizations, businesses will come up with a plan and say, presently we want everything to be a custom ERP for them to use, not considering upfront cost, maintenance, and training. Remember, once a technology is introduced, it is going to outface some set of people. It will target a group of people that are not ready to embrace technology for growth. I hear some people say they used to type about 5,000 words back in the days in less than 3-4 minutes. But honestly, who does all of that using a typewriter? Even the computers, who does all of that? No. Just a single prompt on an AI is going to give you all the necessary words. All you need to do is copy and paste. Thirdly, compatibility. Ensure new technologies works with existing system. Yes, some persons might say because of their budget, they want to remain in a particular strata of technology. But truth be told, the guys that are giving you this technology will not remain at that level. After some point, they will outface what they've given you because they must stay in business. Remember, present business must rely on technology to run. And the guys, the providers of this technology, must move forward. Therefore, it is expected for all businesses to also move forward. Not too fast, not too slow. iPhone produced iPhone 13, and today you can hear 13 and 15 have been outfaced. They are no longer in production. Why? They consider the CPU of that particular handheld device to have some issues, and they treat that side. The M21 laptop up to Apple, they noticed there was a deficiency on the board. And what did they do? They did not come to the public and condemn it, but they quietly produce new sets. That is why you see devices being produced every day. Okay, you have the Camon 40. What happened to the Camon 30? It was just because most of the AIs that are being introduced have been able to handle imagery properly. So as a company, as a business, as an organization where you work or you own, you need to consider the compatibility of the choice of technology you want to put in place. Another key factor is security. How sure and how secured is the security of the solution you are trying to embrace? So in my organization, we had an issue. Recently, Hostinger were attacked, and some vital person's email, like my email, was compromised. After the entire recovery state was done, I experienced issues where spammers and hackers started to send me emails. They even used my email to send emails to some customers that gave us money in hundreds of millions. And what did we do? Immediately we sent out communication to those customers. and we had to go back to the drawing board, even as a fintech, to go and rearrange our email structure. So gone are the days where you have Blossom.Johnson at the company name. Everybody have come up with a technique to actually put security in check. Another choice for you when you are picking technology for business improvement, you need to have scalability in mind. What do I mean in scalability in mind? The solution you are trying to put in place should not be such that after I collect 20 people, it collapses. It should be able to expand. It should be able to reduce itself. What do I mean by reduction? DHL and Amazon fired some workers, not because they just wanted to fire. They saw that they were being redundant. They were not actually in line with the present technology improvements that have been brought into the business. They had to fire some people. Immediately they fired some people, mind you, the business actually what? Reduced. The number of workers reduced. The technology requirements increased. So once there's efficiency, the technology requirements of every organization will increase. Look at our dear X, formerly known as Twitter. He fired a lot of people. Elon Musk, he fired a lot of people because he felt they were actually not being productive. And he kept less than 300 workers to work with him as developers for X today. And today, X had something they call a Grok AI, which is good. But if that number was there, it would have actually affected the business not to improve. So there is a space for scalability for you to increase your technology output or increase your technology size. Another thing to consider when choosing technology contributions of business is user experience. User experience. The user experience is very, very important. Nobody wants to invent a solution whereby before you type A, you need to write so many lines of code. Nobody wants to do that. With a click of a button, you should be able to do a lot. The ease of using it is one major factor, especially when an organization, you have a particular demography running an organization. It's not a bad thing whereby you have 40 and above working in an organization. No, it's not a bad thing. It might just be organization structure. Definitely, you should know that there will be some lapses in the use of technology in such environments. You cannot begin to bring technology that will need OTP at every little thing for authentication, or you begin to do two-factor authentication, or you begin to do single sign-on. You are going to cause issues at the end of the day because such persons are not tech savvy. Therefore, they will even be threats to the system at the end of the day. Imagine a lot of us make this mistake. When we want to keep some information about ourselves, we just jump on our phone notepad and we drop it. So I will tell you for free today, you are actually exposing yourself to a lot of risks. That is because you feel you have different apps to handle all of that. However, inside the notes, inside your phone notes, there's a way for you to lock every password that is being kept there. So if you don't understand user experience and the user feel of a solution, it becomes a problem when choosing it for a business for its growth. Another thing is vendor accessibility. I wish Dozier was on this call. We went for a meeting together, and the customer was saying he contacted tech people in Malaysia to build a core banking solution for him. So if that solution had issues, is he going to run to Malaysia? As a business, whether small, whether mid-range or high-tier business, you need to have vendors or support system closer to you. Not that you need to type a mail. Remember, when you send a mail to some people, it takes them hours for them to access. What if there's a system breach or there's a system downtime? What do you do? That is why vendor accessibility is another key factor when choosing technology for business. Another point is innovation. How innovative is it? What is the direction it is leading towards? What do you envisage in the shortest time that will happen. Another point is trust. If there is no trust between the solution and the user, it cannot be effectively used. I hope I'm not too fast.
No, sir.
Hello?
No, sir.
Okay, so going forward, we'll be looking at business outcome of effective use of technology. What is the outcome? Because that is why this learning series was put in place. What is the outcome if you use technology? First, efficiency. The first part of it is what? Efficiency. Every organization wants 200% efficiency. Tax automation, streamline workflows, and improve communication. Imagine as a business owner and a customer sends a feedback to you on a Saturday, and by Tuesday morning, nobody has replied to that communication. Is their organization using technology for efficiency? I'm asking a question.
Not at all, sir.
Okay. So if you notice your
No,
WhatsApp, there are some basic tools that are there already. There are some basic tools that are there. You have what? Autoresponder. Is that not? To customers. But putting it into use is what makes efficiency for communication. We have the Power BIs and codes that help automate business flows. For instance, you have a transaction and it requires 5 levels of approvals, and a business request comes in, let's say 7 p.m. on a Friday. If there are no automated workflows in place, the business will what? Suffer, thereby reducing productivity level and efficiency level. Maybe a customer just got maybe a bill, or just got maybe he needs funds to do a particular thing, or he needs your attention to actually support a solution, even as a technology person. Once the user logs in a ticket, a support ticket, somebody is supposed to jump on it. Why? Because presently our mobile phones help us to integrate to solutions for quick response or quick support systems. That's what we mean by stream workflows. But in a situation whereby your solution cannot run on a mobile device, or the browser needed for a mobile device for a solution to run cannot effectively work on a mobile device, then you cannot have efficiency in place. Now, automate tasks. What does it mean to automate tasks? There are some documents that at the end of the day, you need some level of automation. There are some tasks that need some level of what? Automation. I will use the finance industry. Why? Because I understand that very well. In the finance industry, there are some processes that requires high level of automation. For instance, to query if a customer's biodata or information that he or she sends to you is correct. Like I earlier stated, with BVN, you can actually see entire information of an individual. With just the user passport number, you can actually tell when the user, where a user is, if he's in a country or out of a country. In fact, all of his journey at the end of the day. You can say that efficiency is one thing that is guaranteed when you use technology effectively for business outcome. Another thing is data analysis. Yes, in today's world, the highest currency we have is data. If there is no data, businesses are going to suffer a lot. And what do we mean by data? You can actually tell where your target audience is. You can tell which product they are buying the most. You can tell what is highly on demand. You can even predict what is the next product coming out. For most of us that use iPhone, we already know what iPhone 17 is going to come, the features that we are expecting. Is that not? I can actually tell, because they are trying to outpace Siri. Siri will be leaving. Gemini is on top of his game ahead of Siri. Those are voice prompt AIs, whereby if you speak to it, it will respond. So we already know that Siri, it is either Siri is being improved, because Siri is not connected to the internet. Siri cannot search the internet and give you information. But presently, with iPhone 17 that is coming forth, it will be done. Now, if you look at Samsung mobile phones, when you take a photo, you can actually remove some persons that are on the background without distorting the quality of the photo. For those that are into cinematography, they need all of that for their business, for their production level to be at the high level. For those in e-commerce, presently, you can begin to see that a lot of hacking is going through the entire system, especially people's credit card. Like Papa will say, you get to a particular shop. He said he went to a particular shop, and he noticed that one person was taking so much time to actually check the price of a particular item. All of that is no longer needed. Once you get into a shop, you pick what you want. Immediately you are crossing the door. The system debits your card. Why? The system can identify who you are, can identify your financial worth level, can identify, even place a credit on your financial status, if need be. You can look at the likes of Meta. Meta came up with glasses, whereby putting it up, when I look at you, it can give me your biodata. I can talk to Meta, please call so person, and it will trigger my phone from the glasses. You will be in a situation where in a society where, like Nigeria, where police brutality is on the high side. What do you need to do? What do you need to do? We're actually in a vehicle and police stopped us. The first thing they asked, hope you are not recording us. And we said we are recording because one of my friends was putting on what? A Meta glasses. And we said we are recording you. And he got said, and everybody was what? Cautioned, even the way they dealt with us. So data analysis is important. It is one thing that is guaranteed from what? Effective use of what? Technology in our business. Another thing is security. Security is guaranteed when you use technology. For instance, you get to an organization where all of these receipts are handwritten. If the receipts are handwritten, somebody can manipulate it. But when the receipt is auto-generated, what happens? Nobody can actually what? Manipulate it. There is some level of what? Data security. We'll move fast to marketing. In fact, I never knew that content creation was going to move towards the angle of marketing. But look at it today. Everybody that produces a content or a product know their target audience. Why? We have tools on Instagram, on Facebook, those that are into digital marketing. They can actually segment their target audience. You cannot begin to sell shaving powder, shaving powder that is used by adult male mostly to target children in schools. That would be a wrong target. Now it means that person is not actually moving with the tool of marketing from technology. So marketing at the end of the day has been improved so that you have a wider reach for your prospect. We have customer engagement. It is another important aspect of business. Can be easily achieved with technology. The way users will interact with you. Imagine on a Sunday afternoon when your shop is closed and a customer is chatting you up for a particular dress, trying to negotiate with you, trying to book appointment for pickup. You'll be rest assured that yes, your prayers have been answered. All the 4 services you attended, your prayers has been answered. You know that yes, people can actually get to you. But in a situation where businesses isolate themselves from technology, there is no easy access to such businesses. I wonder businesses that say once it is 5 o'clock, they close for the day. In fact, go and check most websites. They don't say that any longer. It is out of it because they have a chat bot that will respond and send the query not to everybody, but to the appropriate decks for it to be treated. So from the little we've gotten, I want to share with us and make us understand that technology is one thing we need to embrace. However, there's a clause to it. How it is applied determines the outcome. You cannot start using a high-tech solution for a startup. You are going to force the business to run into debt. You are going to force the business to actually crash at some point, because it will be overwhelming. Because it is supposed to grow from 1 to 3, 3 to 5, 5 to 7, not from 1 to 10. The business will not be able to manage the production line at the end of the day. So in all, the application of technology to business is for a positive use. However, if the following steps on how it needs to be applied, looking at the considerations and the expected outcomes, we are going to have effective use of technology for business outcome. I think this is where I would draw the line, and I want to say thank you very much for your audience. Over to the moderator.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Blossom. It was very enlightening. So we're going to give room for question now. If you have questions, clarity on some aspect he mentioned, you can feel free to unmute yourself and speak. Okay, so while Mr. Blossom, while we wait for others to articulate their question, I'm going to ask you. You mentioned that technology and AI can help us predict. When you were talking about the reasons for a company, I think it was the second slide, venture using AI and technology for their business, and you mentioned that would help us to predict the next we should be able to predict the next technology or the next line of technology, like and then you mentioned the one from you gave an instance of the Fidelity Bank and all that. How do we know? What are the indicators to know that, okay, this technology I'm using now, maybe in the next 5-10 years, it will be outdated? And because I believe that if we know, we're able to predict better. So what are the indicators to note that?
Okay, so thank you for the question. Now, every technology, as earlier said, has a life cycle. And the providers of this solution, they are not sleeping, except organizations that they just want to come for just a brief dance in the stage and they are all out. Now, there are indicators there. If you see, once you see a technology or a solution beginning to talk about scalability, that is, they want to improve what they have, you should know that there's something on the table that is cooking. Remember that every technology has a documentation. I don't know, Amarachi, I don't know if you are aware of that. Before you use any technology, there's a documentation to it. It can do this, it can do this, it can do this, it can do this. Now, once a solution, you go back to that documentation and you see anything that has to do with a new version being on the pipeline, it is an indication that you should know that that particular life cycle of that part of what you are using of that solution is to be outphased. That's one. Number two, you must always compare your solution with other solution providers. There's something they call an iOS standard for every solution. And once there's an agreement, especially in the EU environment, that okay, you can produce these, you can actually go into production of this solution, you will definitely get rumors. You're on social media, you will definitely get rumors. Thirdly, once you begin to use a solution and you begin to notice excessive downtimes, you will know that at that point in time, as a developer, I will tell you, once there's excessive downtimes, you know that there's work being done at the background to see if there will be some level of handshake with the new coming or the proposed solution to be provided to users, or the updated version of it. It's just like when we had Zenith Bank issues. I don't know if you noticed that period. There was an upgrade and it affected the other part. They were not actually trying to implement it. They were testing it out. And for them to test it, remember, it is already in production and people are using it. The next thing they did was to what? Apologize and held on for a little time. And immediately they got it right. They outfaced the app, the customer interface, brought a new one, which customers found very difficult. But because I knew what was happening, I did not delete my old Zenith Bank app. I was still using it and it was working fine for me. So one of the indications is, one, you begin to experience some level of blockage in usage. Check other competitors. If you notice that they are beginning to implement new technology, expect that certain things will also be implemented, but in a different pattern. Thirdly, remember, you have a vendor that is actually helping you to assess the solution. You can ask, because Microsoft today, at least I'm Microsoft certified, there are some updates that wants to come out, but because I'm connected to a lot of organizations, helping them with solutions here and there, I always get an update of what wants to be done. Even from Google, Internet of Things, I got an update 2 days ago concerning an API that is being used wrongly. That please kindly change this because an update will be coming out in August. So you must be closer to your support system, which your support system is supposed to give you necessary feedback. And it's an indication that once you begin to experience excessive system disruption, you should know that there's an update that is being worked on. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. So we have Mr. Wachuku. Please, can you unmute yourself and ask your question?
Hello, thank you very much, Blossom. Good evening, everybody. My question is based on the use of AI. I work in the international development space, and we have sort of request for proposals, which we kind of search for, and there are quite a numerous organization ranging from Gavi, USAID, World Bank. They're just a numerous, and for you to search for the opportunities that are available, you would have to check their website one after the other. Do you have any form of AI enabled solution that you could suggest or you could advise that would be able, when plugged into sort of search through the internet at every possible time for every possible maybe request for proposals that are available based on what the prompt is, and be able to make a compilation? That's my question.
Okay, so thank you too for the question. So for now, I've not actually come across an AI that can actually meet all of that. But for the use of AI, there's a way to actually build your prompt, and it's something you need to learn in business. If you're a business owner, it's something you need to learn. You can just type your prompt as a layman and it's going to just give you a random response. But there's a way to coin your prompt and it is going to trigger the next, what you are actually requesting for. So for me, I would recommend you build effective use of your prompt for whatever AI you use. If you use Gemini, there's a way you build your prompt and you are going to get results. If you use ChatGPT, which is OpenAI, there's a way you build your prompt. I'll tell you this for free. Try to put the same prompt on these two AIs. You'll get two different responses. Why? Because the way they handle such a request, so such query differs. So if you are looking for an AI that can build maybe a portfolio or do a find on the internet, these particular two AIs presently already connected to the internet. They can actually carry out something they call internet scraping for you. So internet scraping is the ability for an AI to search for relevant materials and feedback to his to feed a query. But the effective way to do it is to know the right prompt, because if you don't use the right prompt, it is not going to give you the necessary required answers needed. Remember that these AIs are not actually built to meet your specific request, but they can just assist you if you use the necessary prompt. I don't know if that answers your question. So I think
Yes.
I will share, maybe I might share something with you, how to build your prompt in an AI for you to get something very, very, very simple and very easy to use. I'll just share a little bit of a link. It's just like a video. So you go through it, it will help you. Because even the use of AI requires some level of skill. That is why you hear some people just say, AI, when I did my research and when I took it to my supervisor was immediately knew that you used an AI. So every AI has some level of humanization inside of it, but the approach you use, because if you say, okay, what is employment? Almost everybody will type what is employment, and almost everybody will have a close response to what is employment. But if you drop a particular prompt on employment, the way it will break it down for you, I bet you even the researchers you pay might even find it difficult to actually comprehend where you got the response from. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Blossom. Does anybody have any other question before we call it an evening? Questions around AI and about what we've discussed. Business owners, ask questions.
I'm expecting questions from different. Why I did not bring different tools? Why I did not bring different tools for different businesses is because we have a lot of businesses and the tools to use for them are numerous. So if you ask me questions concerning a particular business, I can lay my hand on one or two tools and I'll share with you as a starter that will give you good results at the end of the day.
Okay, so I have another. I'm sure I'm supposed to raise my hand, but
No,
can I
continue,
proceed?
please. Proceed, please.
Okay. So, my second question is on like you talked about being able to get customers and be able to source them. So, I want to ask: is there an AI prompt that could be used to source for customers within the real estate space? Let's say individuals that probably as what as it works, people that probably have talked about real estate, asked about real estate, and within some specific demography, and be able to aggregate them together, maybe for a cold call or for for me to send a bulk SMS or an SMS blast. Is there something like that?
So
Thank
first things first, you need to understand that there's something we call data privacy. Is of high importance in the tech space. So sourcing of customers has to be something that you need to be intentional about. What do I mean? You need to think more on social media. So each of these social medias, I notice they have their different AI that can actually do a search within that ecosystem. For instance, LinkedIn has an AI whereby if you talk about anything that has to do with real estate, it is going to request if you are looking for leaders, if you are looking for investors, if you are looking out for people that are in the mid or in the downstream of the real estate environment. So for you to actually get the marketing right, you don't really need to go and use an AI. You need to jump on a social media. For instance, if you are looking for the high end, you need to be on LinkedIn. You need to be on LinkedIn. And once you're on LinkedIn, you use the tools that are within LinkedIn to actually filter users according to their profile and their posts or communications about real estate. That is when you can now do like a communication with them within real estate. So there's a funnel in marketing. There's a marketing funnel. There's people you call prospects. There's people you call customers. I think there's one more before the prospect level that you just sample a large amount of users from maybe a post that you dropped, or maybe you made a comment, or you engage in a conversation in maybe like any of the webinars and all of that. When you engage properly, people go back. Like for me, sometimes I see people going to check my profile on LinkedIn a lot. Because we are not using it effectively, many of us don't even know that there's a premium version of LinkedIn. There's a premium version of LinkedIn. I pay for it. So when you check my profile, I see you, what you're trying to check or what you're trying to find out, and I reach out to you. You might become a lead. You might have what I want in your own space. I don't know if you get me. So at the end of the day, there is no particular tool that says you can get people's phone number and AI that can get to people's email address. No, because there's data protection, effective data privacy, effective on all solutions. If breached, the users that you are getting their email can sue the organization to court, and they are going to run, I think, about 2 or 3% of their net profit, annual net profit. So what you just need to do is to use the necessary tools within that ecosystem where you are and take advantage of it effectively. But one advice is most of the solutions we look at that are free, they have premium versions. You need to look at these premium versions. That is why I say look at the pros and the cons. The pros and the cons of a solution before you embrace it. So you need to look at the different subscriber levels. Is it something I can actually key into? At some point, I deactivated my premium version of LinkedIn when I was not getting the necessary vibe. But I think I went for an event, and when I came back, I saw that the buzz of my LinkedIn was so much. But I needed to see the people that were visiting my LinkedIn page, and I engaged with it. So in that way, for you to build effective marketing, you must use a particular ecosystem or a particular environment, a particular platform to filter the necessary information and persons you need. And I'll beg you, for things like real estate, you can't be using free tools. You need to use premium tools so that you can actually be in front of the right audience. So that will be all from me.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Okay, good evening. Can I please ask a question?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
Okay, Mr. Blossom, I want to say thank you for your time. Thank you for the enlightenment and the informations we have received. My question will be, first, for a novice into the e-commerce sector, what advice would you give to the person? And what are the possible AI tools that can be used to have a secured, effective e-commerce platform?
Okay, so if I get you very well, sir, do you want to build an e-commerce platform?
Okay, so first of all, I tried something some time ago, and because the thing was not giving me my desired result, I had to stop it. There was this e-commerce platform. I got someone, a web developer, to develop for me, and were able to get it up and running. Even the payment method was through Paystack and all of that, all were put in place. But because we're not possibly getting, well, let me say, we're not able to market it effectively. So at the point, I got tired of it and said, I've not gotten the solutions to this. Now I have to go back, rethink, get some resources in place, and go back to it again. So an opportunity like this, I like to know what possible AI tool one can use and how to effectively market it so that I don't just go waste money again the second time.
So e-commerce platform, I would have allowed, what's her name, Amarachi, to actually answer this question. Amarachi. So for go on. Oh, she left the call. So for e-commerce platforms, they are very dynamic. What I mean, they are very dynamic. You have e-commerce platform that sells hair. You have e-commerce platforms that sell shoes. You have the multi-vendor e-commerce platforms that sell almost everything, like Jumia and Co. Right? But one thing is the major issue with e-commerce platform, you are right, is marketing. Another thing is workflow. What marketing and the workflow. So you might be getting all the marketing right. Another thing is how you are actually automating your processes is what is actually setting the customers out of not using it. You might be getting the workflow right, or you might not be getting the effective marketing experience you need. So you don't need, it is not a tool you need. It is for you to actually use the right, you don't need an AI tool, rather. You just need the right tool that will put your business in front of the right audience. You just need to put it in the front of the right audience. So there are so many tools out there. I can actually get a list of them and I share with you that you can use for your marketing to be able to get the right audience to come to you. Another thing is with the workflow, our level of response, our business automation process might be poor. Such that someone is making an order and you are responding after 6 hours. The user might cancel it. In a situation whereby the customer is even coming on your website, it is not responsive. At that point in time, you know that it's not AI that is the issue. If the user is not experiencing effective user experience, it becomes an issue. The user will actually go out. You might see website that they'll have thousands of people visiting or millions of people visiting, but the conversion level is very low. The conversion level is very low. So their strategy to actually how to implement all of this. Another thing that actually killed e-commerce is not having the right team. So the job of a digital marketer is different from the job of a content person. The job of a content person is different from the job of a web developer. So all of these things are the things you actually need to put in place. Remember, the word is E commerce. E-commerce. The digital marketer is the one that targets the entire audience. But the content person knows the right content to give to the digital marketer that will make the blast or users to visit. Your conversion mechanism now has to be in top gear. If not, remember, you have a lot of competitors. If you say you're selling a black shoe for 10K, one guy might just come from nowhere with a very good content and appealing content. We sell the shoe for 70K to that same customer that is looking for a shoe of 10K. So all of this put together is what gives you an effective running of an e-commerce. But for me, there's a platform my friend built, is an AI. The only thing the AI does at the end of the day is to generate description for the e-commerce. Product description. Yes, it's good enough because it's going to help SEO, search engine optimization. But at the end of the day, will it do the conversion part? No. So there are so many things that need to be put in place accordingly. If you put 1, 2, 3, e-commerce will work effectively. I and Amarachi worked on an e-commerce some time ago. And when they had issues, they were trying to migrate to a new platform. They reached out to me, I supported them, and they got it done. They engaged some other digital marketers, and they are doing well today. At least they brought in container of their product, 2 containers down to Lagos from China. It means the business is growing. So you just need to be able to know which factor is actually affecting it. If you use an AI tool to implement content, what about the conversion, the marketing? There are tools that are not AI that are meant for marketing of e-commerce product. And need to get to in front of the right audience. So that would be my humble suggestion, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, sir. So thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Blossom. I was called to answer the question, but I thought I was unmuting myself, but I ended the call. So to improve your business, there's something called a beta mouse trap fallacy. Beta mouse trap fallacy. Because you have the best product, because you have the best goods, because you have a functional website, responsive website, does not automatically convert to sales. You have to put it in front of the people that need it. You have to show up. You have to market your product. He mentioned SEO, search engine optimization. You have to use keywords. You have to use keywords that will make your site, when people are searching, they would see your site. Then marketing, do your digital marketing, your content and all that. And where do you get people that come to your website? You do your social media pages, do your social media marketing. You want to do content, you want to even tell people. So aside having a very good website, responsive website and all that, if you don't market your product, your customers will not see that you have that. So I think also there's no automatic there's no AI that is generating that may generate customer for you, at least not yet developed. But you have to put in the work to do the advertisement, do the marketing, get the word out. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me leave others to ask the question.
Okay, thank you very
Okay.
much. Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much, Mr. Blossom,
Good evening,
for
ma'am.
section. I joined midway, and I think I might have missed out on some of the things that were said, but the part I got is really enlightening. And one of the last things he said before we rounded up was about startup, and you mentioned something that hits me. As much as the technological advancement is going towards AI now and all, for startups, if we want to do things, we would not have to just move straight into AI. So I want to ask, for someone running a coaching or a consulting outfit, that your audience is mainly online, you do it mainly online, What tool can you recommend? You mentioned when you were answering one of the questions, you mentioned something about social media, which I believe is like the basics even before you advance to AI. So for a startup, what would you recommend someone running a coaching or a consulting outfit to do? How would you advise the person technologically to start and then maybe move towards advancing their business? Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you for the question. So I think this one is full consultation, ma'am. And the money is 500,000 naira, ma'am. So for every business, more especially intellectual property, the first level is you need to build trust. And what do we mean by trust? You need to come up with an online presence. So the online presence for intellectual properties like yours consulting solutions, you must have a social media and have a website in place. Now, getting that in place, you need to, because you are actually giving out consulting and intellectual property, you need to come up with a lot of content around what you do, like blogs, educating people. See, people don't just come on the internet and they just choose you, maybe because you have one of the best names or you have one of the best CVs. No, they want to test your capacity most of the time. They want to see if you are capable of providing the said service. So we run a check on the way people visit blogs. And Amara, you are also a tech person now. You will notice that a lot of people go on internet and they do a lot of research around blogs before they make their conclusion on who and who to pick for consulting solutions. I've had someone reach out to me from Israel speaking that, Blossom, I saw your website on either you built this for this organization, you built this for this organization, good one. Please, we are having this challenge, we're having this challenge. We don't need you to work on it. We just need you to give us insight. As a sharp worry boy now, I felt it's for me to talk on the phone. And the man told me that, please, can you share me a blog, any of your blog, a written blog by you that can help me resolve this solution? So I was wondering, so I should go and sit down. So when I spoke to an expert too, and she told me that your papers you write, your research works, is what people want to feed on first, and they have confidence and they engage you for consulting. So for a startup, you have a lot of ideas, you are full of energy, you want to get into the market, you want to make all the millions in seconds. But the first thing, it must be a groundbreaker for it, which is getting on a platform that you can use to communicate and engage some of the ideas you have. Doing that, you might resolve someone's solution for a consulting business, and immediately you resolve that person's problem. I'm very sure they don't just walk away. It is never enough. They will come back to you, and at that point, they now become not a lead this time. They are now a prospect. So how you package the business to the next level? So because I see some websites that people offer consulting service, they don't put something like a form for people to actually discuss. No, a form where they can actually reach out to them, like a contact us page. They just want them to call them. No, it doesn't work that way. Some persons don't want to even let their identity out. That's how very, very secretive the entire internet technology space can be. I want to ask you a question anonymously for you to respond to me, and I evaluate it. Remember, these people have gone to meet people physically one-on-one, and they are not getting the right response. So they said, okay, let me get somebody neutral. How will they get it? They will jump on the internet, on websites, on blogs. If you go on Google today and you say, I need a consulting firm that can actually maybe help me out with ERP solutions, advice. as consultants. You have a lot of them. Next thing you begin to see on Google, correct me, you begin to see something they call users review, users rating. Ma, have you seen that on Google?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you say that it is not something that just works immediately. It is something that you need to build on by the amount of blogs you put out. But the first thing for build a seamless environment, e-environment, whereby users can come and rest, feed on the contents that you have, relevant blogs, engage with your forum, engage with your followers on social media, then before they can now properly engage with you fully. And remember, once they come, a consulting job is not the regular 9 to 5. One consulting job can actually change a career path for someone. So at the end of the day, you must be able to put all of these in place. If you have a functional website, you have your social media page professionally fixed. There are professionals that actually handle social media pages, not just the regular, I just want to open one business page, one icon is missing here, logo is not here, this one is not here, vision is missing. No, they are professionals that fix it. When they align it to the website, they say, oh, this person is organized. They now check, what articles are this person written? What references are this person done? And as, what do they call it? As a business, a consultant, a person in consulting business, you must be ready to go out for events. You must be ready to engage with other people that play in your space. You must be able to jump on their articles and also add to it. In that way, you'll be everywhere. Some persons just come out from nowhere, but they've been written articles for a long time. But because the people have been feeding on the article, have been dropping comments, one of the big boys in the art space might pick on it and run with it. And there, next thing you're on the world stage, voila, you are good to go. So for the consulting firm, you need to actually do the necessary groundwork. You don't need AI. For me, you only need your AI for research. But there's some job that is expected of us. I will tell you, everybody today, if you need your AI to actually build your business to a particular level, it will still remain at 10%. You must collect information. Let me tell you how AI works. Everybody is calling AI today. AI is simply a chatbot that goes to a data bank and fetch written documents or what do they call it? Documents or information about a particular sphere of life and share with you. It's only suggesting to you. So it's meant for us to now use our minds, our God-given brains, to put one and two together to make it perfect. I built a website with my AI, and the amount of lines that we needed to correct were over 2,000, 3,000 lines. It is not wrong, but some of those things are not necessary, because what I was trying to build, I've gone beyond the stage of a starter. So also with businesses, if you say for a consulting firm, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do that, you need to look at what stage are you. You might be in the starter stage, but you are 80% in the starter stage. It's just that you have not gotten the online presence. Okay, you jump on the online presence, build your profile. A friend of mine built his LinkedIn page for about 2.5 million. Classic page. He took good photo shots, good one, and he dropped them there. He has people that do research. They give it to him. He looks at it at a page level. He add one or two, spice it up. He brings it out, and everybody is jumping on it. Wow, wow, wow! And people are connecting to it. So AI does part of the job, but as humans that reason logically, AI reason and analytically, we reason logically. We put all of this together and we get effective results. So that's my humble submission now.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, thank you. So, if anybody has any question, we'll take one more question before we wrap up. One more question, please. Okay, Mr. Kings.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mr. Blossom.
Good evening. Good
Really
evening.
that was an eye opener for me. But I just wanted to get through more light with the Fidelity Bank Oracle infrastructure. So is it like they're using a 1993 version of the Oracle database? Like I just want to understand more how that worked or how that works. Thank you.
So Oracle, there's something they call a core banking solution. The core banking solution is what handles all of the processes within the interbanking sector. For Fidelity, when last we checked, the DB has been updated, but the version of the core banking is still 1993. So it became a problem because at some point, if you notice, amongst all banks, Fidelity Bank at some point was very difficult to actually do transaction because they were not connected to NIBS. You know NIBS, NIDBS. That's where all of our transactions at the end of the day of recent technology go through. But they could not because compatibility issues were there. If you notice every Fidelity Bank, you just see one ATM. The ATM is like it's dead. It's not working. You get on it before it even goes round to go and check your information and comes back. It's an issue. So it's not that it's a bad thing for them. That's where they understand. So I once worked in an organization whereby we wanted to implement something with Microsoft, and my immediate boss was telling me that we don't need to do it now. Why? He said it. He said he's not knowledgeable on this. So behind him, I already had M365 training, and I was able to work with most of those tools. At some point, I had to resign because it became very, very, very confrontational that he had to tell me that, bro, you want to take my job. So, but me, I knew that that place was not a place for me in Victoria Island. And I walked away from the organization in less than a month or two because I had the skill and Glow needed me to work with them. Because of M365, I could automate a lot of things. So it's not a bad thing that they are in that strata presently. It's just that they need to upgrade for them to be in the likes of Zenith, GT, Money Point, OP, and all of that. I don't know if you understand me, Mr. Kingsley.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Bludon. What you explained, even you just gave me more insight. The reason I'm asking is because I know some financial institutions have done upgrade in their core banking infrastructure. Some even migrated completely from Oracle to Finacle.
Even to Bank One. Even to Bank One.
Yeah.
There's a new one called Bank One now. If you're in that space, I would
think that is
advise
by
you to jump on
Sterling,
it. Yes, if you're in that space, go and jump on it immediately. Bank One is going to outface all of what is existing presently because CBN just deployed Bank One. So you can have one bank account, run other bank accounts. So if you're in that space, you need to jump on it immediately, understand how it works, implementation, API development, and all of that.
That's a great one. Let me know if other person on this call before it begins to get technical. But thank you very much, Mr. Bludon. Thank you. But just before we go, I think maybe would it be that one of the reasons Fidelity has not gone to that level of operating infrastructure because of the breaking of existing application dependencies? Because some of the times when you move from one to another, it takes a while to integrate everything together to make them work seamlessly, like it ought to work. Could that be a reason?
So before you even talk about the dependency, your environment has not been updated. So what are they depending on? Do you understand? An organization where
Yeah,
you have
I get it.
when you have it's not a bad thing to have the older ones in an organization. Truly, it's not a bad thing, but it is going to limit the play around with technology. You have someone in it in 55, 58, and the person is telling you that even though you need to implement bank one for us, you need to give us a UAT period of 3 years or 2 years. Why you are actually saying bank one? It's just like somebody is telling you that MTN is everywhere, and somebody comes and tell you that Etisalat or Nine Mobile works only in Ipori. Will you want to use Nine Mobile? That before you accept, what do they call it? MTN, he wants you to be sure that let him use MTN for 2 years. Remember, even the telecommunication space, very soon they are outfacing SIM cards. Everybody is going to be connected to the satellite at the end of the day because of Elon Musk. It means even your internet, your banking solutions, you won't be doing on premises. You'll be deploying to cloud. I don't know if you understand me, Kingsley.
Yeah, I'm getting you. Go on,
So
sir.
if you are going to be deploying to cloud, how do you want to run with Oracle 2000? You can only get Oracle 2000 in countries like India because they are one of the major originators of Oracle. But in America and Europe, they don't use it any longer. They don't use it. Even in Malaysia, they don't use it. In fact, the Brazilian bank that was hit by Nigerian guys, it was Oracle solution that they hit. Go to Kingsway, Ikoyi, where you have Oracle building. Opposite, you have Microsoft building. If you look at the two buildings, you see that Oracle building is looking older. It's as if there's cobwebs everywhere. If you look at Microsoft, it's looking sharp and fresh. Why? Because they are not even implementing the right solutions. It is only in Nigeria here that they sell outdated solutions to us and we collect. If you check most of the e-commerce platform, they have actually moved to something they call Wix. Pastor Wokoma, there's something they call Wix. Wix is an e-commerce platform. You do a drag and drop and you have built your e-commerce. You don't even need a developer. It has a dependency to connect to all payment channels. You don't need, so tomorrow if you are tired of it, you move to the next part of it. Shopify is there for you. Shopify will build, you can buy a domain and connect to it, even without consulting Blozon, because Blozon will collect money from you.
Are you sure?
Yes. Yes. So if you have gotten out of 3, you have gotten 1 and 2, remaining 1 more step. You won't be spending so much and you will not be tired. You will not get discouraged at the end of the day. You just do 1 or 2, quick, drag and drop, you fix it in place, and we are good to go. That's all. So even for people that are using phones that are not satellite enabled, please prepare for it. 2030 is a new dawn in the telecommunication space. MTN actually bought into the agreement in Dubai. They bought into it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Blazon.
Yeah.
While we are speaking, but no need, if I continue, we won't finish today. But just one thing, CBN and their policy regulations, especially on financial institutions, do you think they would fully allow all customers' data to be in the cloud? There are some regulations that mandate that data must reside in the location where they are generated, such as customers' sensitive data. Yeah, do you think CBN would allow that? Or
Okay. Then
that data? I know at one time there was a story. Sorry, I cut you short. There was a story that the NIS passport data was actually the data center was actually hosted in Malaysia. And for me, I don't think that should be done because countries like US will not host the citizens' data outside of the US. Even Europe itself, there are GDPR regulations that prevent some of these things. But I'm open to hear what you have for us. Sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so if you talk about data being hosted on-prem, so I will tell you for free, at least I've worked with Zenith. I've worked with some major financial organization. Let me even open up to the house. People and I've worked with Doja. If you drop your NIN today, it doesn't go to any on-prem solution. It goes to a cloud solution and collects your information and sends it back to me. If I get your international passport number, I drop it on Doja. The API sends it to the cloud because I can see when the packet is being sent now. I can see the location. I can see the IP that's returning it. I can see the timestamp. For sure, we only look at the policy from one side. The policy says reside. However, where is your duplicate storage environment kept? I run a fintech with my friends. All of our data is in the cloud. We are presently pushing for a license for a microfinance bank. We should be out. It has been approved. We're just trying to get a space to set all of that. So our architecture with CBN is all cloud, and nobody is sanctioning us. Money point that you see today met my friends back in the days for 100 million for them to implement it. I can tell you the architecture of Money Point is cloud-based. It's not on-prem. I don't know if you understand me, sir. So the traditional banks we have in Nigeria, they need to actually move in light with what we have, the digital banking solutions. That is these fintechs guys that have come in. Remember that the fintech that we have are being powered behind by the what do they call them? Traditional bank. Zenith Bank are the owner of Kuda, but it is not written anywhere. It's when you go to the meeting and they are calling the figures, they will tell you their extended. They will tell you their extended fintech solution is Kuda, and social data is with them. Social data. Okay, they slam OPay over 2 billion to pay. They paid. Why? Because of incomplete KYC, and they started implementing the right KYC. You want to tell me that it was on-prem that they were able to do all of that with just from any mobile phone? No, it was cloud-based. What do they call it? Bank one I'm talking about will be deployed to the cloud. So you respond through an RDP, it will respond to you. So it's secured. The only time CBN will frown is when your level of connecting to the, what do they call it, is not secured, it's not sufficient, and it's not regulated. So maybe I will also request for this training that they should also give me one more time so that I can talk about data protection. Many of us, even the way we use data in church, is very scary sometimes. When I see it, it's very scary. So I would want to train us on data protection. Thank you, Kingsley, for bringing that to mind. I also want to train us on data. Why? Because if you do your business, there are some policies that are regulated by the data protection regulation authorities in Nigeria. If you don't do the needful, you lose 2% of your net income profit. You lose it. Possibly they are charging them, might give you up to 10%, and you shut down the organization. For me, my organization, we do the audits regularly every year. I'm telling you, a vigorous audit that even CBN is expecting that report. You go through the ranks of everything to check it end to end, and you submit. If you don't submit, they can't approve anything for you. So there is a lot to do around the technological space, but I'll beg everyone, I don't say don't use AI. AI is analytic. God has given us brain for logical reasoning. Put it together, run it to get effective results. There's also trainings on AI, how to use an AI. AI has not come to collect anybody's job or business or outface some certain set of people. Even an 80-year-old man and 90 year, 100 years can key into AI, but key into it in a more systematic approach. If not, you can see children today, some of them can't even write a complete, some adults can't write a complete sentence, they can't spell because they use, what do they call it? Suggestion text. That's why I said at some point it will make you lazy and you'll not be able to deliver as expected. So thank you from my end.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Blossom. Thank you, everyone that's contributed. We'll definitely look at giving you another session or having another session on slightly cybersecurity and data protection, so that because of the urgency and the importance of data and security. Yeah, thank you everyone for joining. We'll be wrapping up just now. Thank you, everyone. I hope it was, I wouldn't say I hope, it was very enlightening. And I think I even got to know more about the banking system than I knew before. So it was very enlightening. I hope that we're able to apply these in our businesses and in various endeavors. Really appreciate your joining in from the first session even till now, and we hope to see you in the next section come June, most likely the last week of June. Stay tuned. Please encourage other people to join. If you have learned, if this has impacted you, please, while joining in the next session, at least drag some people, like 2-3 people, so that we can spread the light. We can spread the good news to other people. People can learn and be educated as well. Thank you, Mr. Blossom, once again for your time. Thank you, everyone that's joined. Pastor Okoma, thank you, everyone. And we'll call it a night. Thank you, everyone. Good night, everybody.
Thank you so much for the audience. Thank you so much. You can actually reach out to me privately for me to do the needful.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Blossom.
Mr. Blossom. Yes, please reach out to him.
I'll send the message.
Yes.
I need to see you, sir, personally.
Okay, man, no problem, no problem. Thank you.
Okay, then the recording will also be uploaded on our. Sorry, the YouTube. The recording will also.
I'll share the slide.
Yes, the slide will be shared. The recording will be uploaded on the YouTube as well, so that you can refresh your learning. Thank you, everyone, once again. And please also follow Salvation Ministries Surulere on all our social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We have a YouTube channel. We'll share the link. You see the recording of the previous session, so you can go through it. Thank you once again, everybody. Have a good evening. See you first service tomorrow in Pastor Wokoma's voice.